When I was growing up in the suburbs, one of my favorite activities was to run around in my backyard as my friend John tried to shoot me in the head with a BB gun. Now, I tell you this not to indict anyone's parents, but to demonstrate the kind of thing that you do when you don't have a car in the suburbs and you're a 40-minute walk from the nearest business, which, as it happens, is a dry cleaner's.
It's a typical American suburb. It's a dull and lifeless place full of cookie-cutter single-family homes and a maze of streets, isolated from anything interesting. There's usually no one outside unless they're mowing their lawns or walking their dog. If you want to escape this soul-crushing environment, your only option is to drive, but even then, you're surrounded by strip malls, big box stores, and corporate chains. There are exceptions, of course, but the majority of North America is built like this. The suburbs are incredibly monotonous and lack a sense of place. They feel the exact same no matter where you go.
Well, hello there. Welcome back to another episode of I Complain About Things. Today's topic, in case you've not watched my intro, which you should do that right now, because I did spend a lot of time on it and it took me a while to do, and it's also a great trailer of like what's about to come, so you should watch it actually, in case you didn't watch it yet. But I'm sure you guys all watched it already, so you know. You've probably already seen a lot of video essays on the US and the American dream and how it doesn't actually exist, and all the issues the US has, like having to elect a president every few years who's either talking to ghosts and way past his like expiration date.
You say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused. I haven't, look, I have trouble even saying to myself my own head the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly. I mean, it's just not, I haven't observed anything.
Or he's facing several charges of crime.
1, guilty. Count 2, guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, guilty. Count 5, guilty. Count 6, guilty. Guilty. Count 15, guilty. Count 16, guilty. Count 17, guilty. Count 18, guilty. Count 19, guilty. Count 20, guilty. Count 21, guilty. Count 22, guilty. Count 23. Count 30, guilty. Count 31, guilty. Count 32, guilty. Count 33, guilty. Count 34, guilty. That is 34 felony counts here. All guilty verdicts. Savannah and Lester, back to you. Here we go.
Illegal ad lib, and you just look at this, what's happening. An illegal ad lib.
So that's always a good thing. I mean, that's great. Or maybe you've also perchance seen the great decision to ban TikTok before banning guns. Interesting decision for sure. Quite interesting indeed. Wanted to talk about that, but you know what? This is a little... I need to let that sink in for a little bit, you know? Like, let that sink in, you know? Anyways. But yeah, this is not what the video essay is going to be about, because honestly, I don't really want to get into politics right now and all this stuff, even though it's kind of like inevitable, and I'm probably going to talk a little bit about politics, but this is supposed to be only about the suburbs of America, because I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. Okay, I'm gonna link all the channels I watched in the description below. So yeah, I wanted to put my 3 cents in that topic as well, which is why I'm here today. Might do like a second part on this, honestly, because I was kind of like thinking of doing second one, but I'm not really sure yet. Anyways, let's stop with the blah blah and get into the topic. So basically, I used to be one of those people as well who was like, yeah, the US, I want to go there. Like, I'm just a little, you know, I'm from the EU, I'm from Germany, I watched all those movies. I was like, wait, high school looks sick as fuck. I wanna go to high school in the US. That's like the dream. Like that's what I want in life. I just wanna be part of your symphony, you know. Anyways, but yeah, I wanted that up until like I actually went to the US for a little bit of a student exchange program. I wasn't there for too long, but I think I experienced enough to know that I do not want to go back. So yeah, I don't want to go to the US anymore. I've seen it, I've experienced it. It's not great, but it's something. Even though it's like maybe not very like chronological, I want to start with the most interesting part for me, which is it's honestly how do I say this? Because it's such a like stark contrast, you know, like the US, like country of freedom, fuck yeah, America, you know, I got my freedom, I can carry a gun everywhere, you know, like all that type of stuff. Like really like keen on freedom, and yet somehow they live in suburbs, America, land of freedom, and you know what they do? They get born and they shackle themselves to cars. You know, like there's a little baby probably being born right now, and you know what happens the second it's out of, you know, it's like in the world, boom, 2 cars attached immediately. A freaking Jeep, I don't know, whatever, you know, pickup truck to the right ankle, Jeep to the left ankle, you know, because that's all they're gonna, like, that's the only way. They can't walk. They can't walk. And that this is not me being like dramatic or anything. Americans cannot walk. And it's not their fault they can't walk. All they have is streets and highways. They have highways. They have lots of highways, guys. They got a lot of highways.
Road over here, and look where it goes to. Nowhere. You're right across the street from everything you could possibly need. I mean, right over here in the center, that's Trader Joe's. You can have Trader Joe's in your backyard. We're talking less than 50 feet, less than 30 seconds to walk to the entrance of Trader Joe, but there's a big wall there, so you can't. It's a 20-minute walk with hills. So this means everybody here has to have a car. And I'm not saying that these people can't afford to have a car, but I'm sure if they wanted to, they'd love to be able to walk there. I mean, you've got a Petco here, you've got a Walmart right across the street. Everything you could possibly
laid out for cars. They are not laid out for humans. That is the one thing that you need to understand. They're made for cars, not for humans. Another part that is very important is the zoning laws. The US has quite the interesting zoning laws. So, for example, like how many parking spaces you need to have if you build a new building, that you can only build single-family houses, and all that type of stuff. There's a lot of them. I'm going to put some extra ones here as well, but basically they have so-called zoning laws, and they just decide like how new houses are built, how new cities are built, how just like anything is built basically, and like what they need to do to be able to get like the allowance and shit to build something.
Process where a city sets laws saying what can be built where. This particular law, the City of Atlanta zoning is R4A, I believe. And that basically tells you the closest the house can be to the street has to be at least 35 feet away from the street. And it tells you the closest it can be from the sides and the back. It tells you the maximum height you can build.
Whether you can have a forward-facing or a rear-facing garage.
It'll tell you all those kinds of things, like where a garage can be, whether or not you can have accessory buildings, like a little rental unit or separated.
New York City are so economically productive. Why do you think there's so much retail here? Why do you think property's so expensive? Why do you think it's a symbol of inequality because of this massive wealth that's going on? Well, it's because it doesn't have any competition. Towns across America make buildings like this absolutely illegal. You've got tons of massive government intervention coming from the township level that blocks tall buildings that kind of come up to the sidewalk in a walkable fashion with homes on top and retail stores on the first floor. And it's simply illegal, and it's been banned all over America, even though it's a wonderful place to live. And it's worth so much because we stopped building all of it. So why do you think we made neighborhoods like Soho illegal?
But yeah, they suck. They suck. And they are the reason for a lot of problems in the US, with suburbs specifically. This is what suburbs look like. Like, just look at this. I watched several like videos, you know, those ones where it's like, take an hour-long drive through an American suburb and stuff like that. And I watch those, like I just drive through suburbs. I can link the videos. Wait, this is the videos. I used part of it actually in my intro. I skimmed through that like at 2x speed, and I didn't see more than 3 people in that entire video, except for one party, which was in another video. I only saw 3 people, and that freaked me a little out because it was like a sunset drive. So 9 to 5, people should be done with work. Where are they? And then there was one party which was like, I'm gonna say it's pretty cool, like if you have like a neighborhood party, like barbecue, whatever. But it just looked so sad.
This is a typical American suburban street. It's wide, the houses are very far apart and look mostly the same. There is barely anything on the well-manicured lawns, post boxes, a few trees or bushes, and the occasional fire hydrant. Now compare this to a suburb in Leipzig, Germany. What differences do you notice? First off, there is stuff around you. The streetscape is very diverse and mentally engaging. In comparison, the American suburb looks like a desolate urban wasteland. Also, in the European suburb, the street is narrow, there is a 30 km/h speed limit, and the buildings are close together. Do notice the tram tracks. In this suburb, you can live car-free. If you want to go to the center, you can either take the tram or ride your bike for 20 minutes on dedicated bike lanes. Or take the S-Bahn because there is also a train station. In the American suburb, you have no option but to drive. Head out onto the busiest road, a horrifying mix of street and road, onto the jammed highway, and after an hour you'll be in the center, searching for a parking spot.
I'm gonna put the clip here, but this shit looks sad. Is it just me? Like, one part of the people sits on one side of the street, the other part of the people sit on the other side of the street. Everyone brings the little, like, crusty, dusty, like, fishing chair, and then that's it? On concrete? What? These suburbs, they are generally just houses. There's nothing. It's just living houses. And like, you're gonna say, okay, alright, like most of this is like what it's like. Yeah, this is like most suburbs. No, it's fucking not. You have a supermarket close by. You have, I don't know, a hairdresser. You have a fucking doctor. This doesn't exist in the suburbs that you are seeing.
American suburb, you're an hour walk away. Unique local restaurants reachable on foot, by bike, or public transit. In the American suburb, you're an hour walk away from a chain restaurant next to a busiest road. If you want to eat, you gotta get in your car. What if you have children? In this European suburb, there are 3 schools close by. Kids can walk or bike there on their own and learn to be independent early on. In the American suburb, a child could get to school after 35 minutes of walking, mostly along a busy arterial road, also having to cross a 6-lane road. And somehow, there's no crosswalk, so kids have to be driven to school every day by mommy and daddy.
They build only, and this is like an issue. See, the problem is like American cities or like suburbs, they only build single family houses. They don't have like multiple family houses. They don't do that, which is like part of their zoning laws. I'm not blaming the like citizens for this, okay? Like this video is not me complaining about American people. This video is about me complaining about the way American politicians continue like basically prisoning their their citizens. But yeah, American people don't build that. So like you have a single family house. You can hold one family in there. I live in a house right now. Wait, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's like 10 apartments in my house. Like, let's say like there's at least 2 people in every apartment. That's 20 people. That is bigger than like any one family house can like store. And honestly, this shit is probably smaller because it just goes up than like a single family home. So since they have so little space to house people, because it's only like family, like one family, like this is like 10 families basically. Since they only have so little space, they need to spread out further and further and further and further and further. And they take down everything they can with them. Forest? Who needs a forest anyways? Nature? I don't need that shit.
People into suburbs, that means turning millions of acres of this and this into this.
But yeah, they spread out further and further to get further away from anything and everything. Like, no supermarket because it's just single family houses. That is all you're allowed to build because zoning laws. No nothing. No doctor. No doctor either. Like. So we continue on with the car dependency because we need to go further to go to the supermarket. We need to go further to go to any doctor. We need to go further to go to school. We can't walk to schools. That is another thing. Let's honestly, perfect time to jump into the next topic that I want to talk about. I mean, freedom, okay, we've talked about it. Car dependency, maybe I'm going to get into it more because it's just connected to everything basically. But children. I see so many TikTok comments, YouTube comments when I've done like some research for this. And people were like, wow, this looks so peaceful. I wish I grew up here. I wish this was like... I just want to experience it once. I just want to like this is the dream for every child, like. And while yeah, it looks peaceful, that is not like a really good like way of understanding why suburbs are not great in the way that you guys like, not great in the way that people think they are. And especially for children, they're actually not amazing because yes, it's peaceful and suburban like parts of cities are good to shelter children, but they're not good to raise children. Yeah, you can have a peaceful life in a suburban like neighborhood, no worries, like yes, but is that really good for children? Like, where's their independency? Like, they don't get any independency being in a suburban neighborhood because they can't go anywhere. They have to ask their mothers, their fathers, I don't know, someone who has a freaking like car to go anywhere, to go meet their friends. Maybe they're lucky and their friends are like in walking distance. Maybe. I'm just saying this, maybe. But then they can't go to any sport themselves. They can't go to school themselves. They can't shopping center themselves if they want to go out with their friends. All they can do is stay at home, play video games. I don't fucking know what you do at home. Like, they don't have any independency to go anywhere. And this is like a very important part about growing up. You need to learn how to be independent. And like, I'm not saying that it's like the worst to live in a suburban neighborhood. It's just like suburbia is not a bad thing in itself. It's the way that it's designed in the US is a bad thing. There's good examples in the US as well, don't get me wrong. They've started changing some things, but most of it still fucking sucks. And a big part really comes down to just taking away independency because they're just not built with humans in mind. They're built with cars in mind. And honestly, that is one of the worst things you can do. That's why college is so romanticized, maybe, because a lot of those kids in the US who are going to college, they've never had that freedom. They've never been able to like have this freedom away from their parents. They were always still very dependent on their parents until they got their first driver's license, which like a lot of them are getting early. I know that, but you're still stuck, you know, like you're still stuck. And are like very excited about going to college because it's like their first like taste, like whiff of freedom, I guess, of like actual, like, I mean, actual freedom going to college. No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like their first time being able to like do things by themselves, be independent, get around and shit. Like, yes, you can get your driver's license early and stuff, but there's still like, still not freedom in a way like I would describe it. And a big issue as well is just like with public transport, it's not possible in the US. You can't have public transport the way you do in Europe. It doesn't work the same. Like, it's like not a lot of people around. And with the way suburbs are built, remember how I said it's just single family houses, how many people can live in there. So you have this big ass area, and instead of having like, for example, like here, if I say, I don't know, 1 kilometer radius, this is just gonna put numbers, but like, there's like, look, the house next to me is the same height as mine. It houses the same amount of families. That's already make it 40 families. And on that same amount of space in the US, you only have 2. Maybe 3 if it's small houses. Maybe 3 fucking like single family houses. What kind of bus would go there for three houses? Like, it's just not worth it. I'm just gonna say it's not worth it. Like, I wish they had public transport, but it's just not gonna work. Let's be realistic. And honestly, that's just like a systematic problem, I guess, because you just can't do it. And now it's kind of too late because you already started with the single family houses and you still have the zoning laws. So like, you can't just get rid of all the houses and be like, now we're gonna start building multi-family houses. No, it's too late, bro. It's too fucking late. Should have woken up earlier. But yeah, that's also how soccer moms get around. By the way, for the people, I think you guys all know what soccer moms are. Yeah. Their entire job is it to drive their children around. Their entire job is it to drive their children like everywhere. And you know, it's not like taking away freedom from children, it's taking away freedom from the parents, it's taking away freedom from everyone. So great freedom country you got there, America. But like, honestly, it's like, it's a little sad, isn't it? I pity the people in the US and their little freedom that they have sometimes. And I might get attacked for this, but also I'm gonna get like 3. No one's gonna see this video. Let's be for real, for real. I'm still a small channel, I can say shit I want to say, and I'm gonna say it. I am sorry. I'm sorry for the American people for not having buses. Buses are great. You guys should check this out. Look at that. That's a bus, man.
Du 131, direction Porte d'Italie.
I know, that's very nice. But yeah, the cars is just like kind of a vicious cycle. Like, even if you could like have your children like walk anywhere, most parents are like, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's dangerous on the streets. There's cars around. Like, fuck yeah, there's gonna be cars because you are driving your car everywhere. But that makes it even worse. So it's like a constant cycle. It's like, no, I'm not gonna let my kid walk because there's cars around. So you know what I'm gonna do instead? I'm gonna add another car to the street by driving my kid everywhere. Oh, but now it's too many cars. Like, cars are too dangerous. I can't have my kid walk. So I'm gonna add a car to it. Oh, wow, would you look at that? More cars. Driving my kid everywhere. Wow, would you look at that? More cars. And it continues. And it's an endless cycle and you can't really stop it. And the issue is, like, I agree. Like, those cars, like most cars in the US, are pickup trucks, are Jeeps, which, like, okay. I guess you need that for your big ass ego, but because, like, I don't know. Like, what do you need a pickup truck for, my man? Like, you are not out and about, like, getting wood from the forest. Well, like, I'd be fine, like, if you got, like, wood from the forest, you'd be like, okay, yeah, I need a big ass pickup truck in the back because, like, I need to carry that wood around, but no. Well, what are you guys carrying in those trunks? Guns? Sorry, I apologize. I got a little bit energetic there, but yeah, me personally, I think most Jeep people are they just have a Jeep to carry and drive their little ego around the town, man, around the suburbs. But I'm gonna be honest, if I saw 98% just Jeeps on the street, I'd be fucking scared as well. I would not walk those streets.
Person gets hit by a car, they're typically thrown onto the hood. This can cause injury to the lower legs, which sucks, but generally doesn't kill you at low speeds. But the higher front end of an SUV means the impact is centered near the torso and head, which is much more deadly. People hit by SUVs are also more likely to hit their head on the ground or go under the vehicle thanks to their high ground clearance. And move on, I want you to look at this chart and understand what you're seeing. This is saying that over a 10-year period, over 500 American children were killed by being run over by SUVs, usually by their own parents in their own driveways. This is insane. This is legitimately insane. In any civilized society, this information alone would be enough to regulate the hood design of SUVs and light trucks. But instead, the industry solution for this is proximity sensors and front-facing cameras, because car companies are happy for any regulations that means they can sell you more stuff.
And honestly, fun thing about the Jeeps, man, because I did go down a really far like rabbit hole. I hate cars. I don't like cars. Not a big car fan. So I know next to nothing about cars, but fun thing, Jeeps in the US actually don't have the same laws attached to them like normal cars do.
Light trucks and SUVs make up almost 80% of all new car sales in the US. 80%. The auto industry has been heavily pushing these vehicles for years, and it's been done to avoid regulations, meaning more profit for car manufacturers. This is possible because in America, SUVs are classified as light trucks, which aren't subject to the same safety and emission standards as cars. Light trucks originally referred to commercial vehicles that needed to carry or tow heavy loads or traverse difficult terrain. To facilitate this, light trucks have large engines and stiff frames, both of which are disastrous for fuel economy and safety, but...
God, man. Who would have thought that my laws that I make in my own country have consequences? Who would have thought? Not Joe Biden, because he's busy talking to ghosts. Donald Trump? Nah, he's busy talking to his lawyer. I saw a lot of my research as well and shit, and it's all these people being like, I just want to experience this once. I just want to see this once in my life. I think this would fix me. This is my dream. And it's a video about a sidewalk.
Living my best Midwest suburban mom lifestyle, taking a walk at sunset in the neighborhood with wine in a plastic.
Tell me, I need to know what I wish I knew what they were talking about. I wish I knew what they were excited about, because I want to know. I want to be part of the conversation. But every time I see these videos, all I see is houses that look identical, and then I see bigger streets that are like triple, like I don't know, like that are like so fucking wide you could build like another house on there. And then like I see sidewalks that are like 3 centimeters wide, like I can barely like walk with 1 foot on that shit. Like it's so teeny tiny. They'll be like, I want to experience this, and it's just concrete. What are you guys seeing that I'm not seeing, man? I need you guys to open my eyes. I feel like I'm watching those people, you know, when like Taylor Swift drops a new album and they do like this listening party thing, and it's like these fans and they like crying and like, I want to experience that. I want to feel things like that. It must be so cool to be so excited about something like that. Instead of sitting and complain. Fucking damn it. Oh, and then another thing, which honestly, me personally, this is what I love this. Okay, you guys are gonna love this. You guys know those people like the red pill people, like, you're stuck in the matrix, man. Like, wake up, guys. You're stuck in the matrix. Like, they're trying to get you. Wait, this looked like sorry, this looked like I was missing a finger. And they'll be like, oh, you're stuck in the matrix. Wake up, bro. Wake up. They keep you prisoned. They keep you stuck. You're stuck in it. I've awoken. I've been awoken, man. Okay, I'm woke now. No, they actually wouldn't be woke because they hate woke people, I think. But you know, they're like enlightened by Andrew Tate, and then they'll be like, I'm better than you guys. Like, I'm out of the matrix. I've went through it, and I've opened my little eyes, and I can see it everywhere. And then this is where they live. This is where they live. Is this not the definition of matrix to you? God, you live in a simulation. If anything, this is Matrix. Like, they will be typing tweets like that out of a house that looks like another 60 houses on the same street. They all look the same. And the worst part about it is they do nothing. They do nothing. They don't plant little plants in front of their little like front yard. No, it's all on the millimeter, perfectly cut grass in front of it. It's all the same fucking pickup truck. It's the same mailbox. Where's the fun in that? We get to design cute little houses and instead we make them all look the same? We could have this. Like, I did not play years of The Sims just to go into a neighborhood that was copy and pasted by some dude just trying to make money, man. Sorry, it's not all bad. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know. Like, I didn't have a proper script for this video, so it's probably all over the place, but I honestly just wanted to talk about suburbs and how I don't like them. At least the American way of suburbs. So yeah, basically all I wanted to say today. So maybe you're like, oh my god, another negative video. What would I change about the suburbs? Good question. Good question. First of all, most of them are fucked up. We cannot save the ones that are already built. They are kind of gone. We can try making them a bit better, but unfortunately that will cost way too much money, way too much destruction, and just honestly wouldn't be worth it. So they gotta stay. But with new ones, change the zoning laws. We do not need single family homes. You guys have like a population of this many people. We do not have the space on this planet to have single family homes only. And even if we did have the space, it fucking sucks, bro. It sucks. It's dumb. It's useless. It takes away your freedom. If you want freedom, don't build single family house suburbs. There you get it. Solved all your problems. Easy like that. I think that was it with me complaining about suburbs today. I hope you enjoyed the suburb hate. If you don't like suburbs either, then drop a like down below. And you know what to do. That is right. Buy a bike. Send me a picture of you biking. And be cool as fuck. Get your freedom, bros. Cheers. Guys, see you in the next one. Thank you for listening to me complain.